My oh my, what a beautiful day it is. December 6th, Sunday. It's about noon. And I'm just now got down to the office and I thought, you know what? I need to get outside. It's a beautiful day. And get some sunshine, some vitamin D. And practice using this gimbal. As you can see, it's kind of hard to keep it directly on me. So you might get to see some of the view besides my pretty face. So today's Sunday. I wasn't gonna do a video, but I figured I might as well. Nothing in particular I want to talk about today. I just thought maybe I'd ramble on about some stuff, give you a glimpse into what's going on in my mind, if you dare tread. That's the thing about me, is my mind does not ever shut up. It's always going. Every minute of every day that I'm awake, I've got an internal dialogue going on. That's not true. That's not always 100% of the time. If I'm like really in the zone on something, then I'm not thinking about anything or pondering. But if there's any kind of like idle period where my brain isn't actively doing something, then there's some type of analysis, some internal dialogue going on, and I'm just always thinking about stuff. And it stresses some people out because a lot of the things I say are, I figure out my thoughts by talking about them. So I say a lot of things and people think like, oh my God, he really thinks that. And it's not that I think that, I'm just considering it, I'm just saying it out loud so that I can listen to it and try to decide what I think about it, or, kind of have like an internal debate. That's why it would be awesome to find some people like that would debate me on things. But there's not very many people like that, at least that I know of at the moment. So what kind of things are going through my mind lately? Well, obviously COVID's on my mind, because COVID's on everybody's mind. And just saying that's probably gonna get me flagged for something, but whatever, man. There's only like 2 people that even watch this. So this whole COVID thing, I was reading about their testing that they do. I guess it's called like the PCR test. I don't know what that stands for, but from my understanding, this PCR test, they'll like take a sample from somebody, like, from the back of their nose or whatever, and whatever DNA is in there, they'll like replicate it, they'll multiply it, they'll, it's kind of like, I don't know, growing bacteria or something, maybe. They'll just multiply it until there's enough of this material, this genetic material, this DNA, or to be able to measure. And so they take a sample, they multiply whatever viruses that you have in your system until the point where they can measure them, and then they tell you what you have in there. And with this coronavirus thing, it's like, let's just take another virus, like a more common one that everybody understands or thinks they understand, like the common cold. I've heard that the cold is a coronavirus, so, almost the same thing, right? Similar at least. And, say that you go out and you get super drunk one night and you're super hungover the next day, and then you catch a cold. Well, it's not like you caught the cold while you were laying in bed. You had the cold the whole time. You had the virus. And it wasn't until your immune system was weakened that the virus was able to wreak havoc. So the point is that, is it possible that everybody's carrying around viruses? I've heard that. I've heard that the human body is full of all sorts of viruses and bacteria. So it would make sense that if you do some kind of laboratory test where you take whatever virus is there and you multiply it, and you keep multiplying it until it's measurable, that you're going to come up with a positive test. Like, yes, that virus is there now that we've multiplied it 1,000,000 times. So, don't take my word for it. Just go Google it real quick. All these mainstream media outlets that are saying that these tests are accurate now, just a few years ago, they were saying these tests weren't accurate. And even, I believe, the person that made this test or discovered it, or however you want to call it, he or she even said that this is not a good diagnostic tool. It's more for studying viruses and stuff in a lab. It's not meant to diagnose a disease. So there was some news headline today. Some doctor somewhere is saying that people that are asymptomatic actually cannot spread this virus. And it's like, so you mean it's like every other virus that we've ever heard of? Like the flu. You don't worry about people that don't have the flu giving you the flu, right? You only worry about them being contagious when they're sick. That's just the way it's always been. So why all of a sudden would we think it's different? Well, just because we're told it's different, right? So I'm not telling you what to think. I'm not even telling you what I think. I'm just thinking about it. I'm talking about it with myself. This is the kind of internal dialogue I have going on in my mind all the time. And I think Sundays are a good day to sit back and think and ponder things and make up your own mind on stuff. That's the best thing about having a brain, is that you can use it. If you should ask yourself, especially on things where you have a really strong opinion, like the presidential election. Do you have a really strong opinion about who should be in office? Where did that opinion come from? What reasoning do you have for your opinion? If you don't have any solid reasons, then chances are your opinion came from someone else. You're just regurgitating somebody else's opinion. And everybody does this. I do it, you do it. It's just like a human thing. We're social animals. Ideas spread from person to person faster than coronavirus. And it's like we don't even notice it. It really wasn't until like the last couple of years where I really stopped consuming so much information and started to try to think of things on my own. Elon Musk talks about it, reducing everything down to first principles and then building it up from there. Oh yeah, look at that. Those are sweet bikes. They're like bicycle choppers. That's freaking cool. So yeah, it wasn't until the last few years that I started to really think things out on my own. And it still doesn't mean that I don't have other people's opinions. I'm sure most of the things that I think are my own thoughts are actually placed in my head by somebody else. And that's okay, because I don't have time to think about everything. It's a lot more efficient to just get my thoughts from people that I trust. And so I just need to make sure that I vet the people that I trust. And I never trust anybody 100%. You always you have to have a fundamental layer of ideas in your mind that are your own. Trust your experiences, trust your common sense, trust your gut, verify things on your own. And it's okay to not have an opinion too, You don't have to have an opinion. It's okay to just say, I don't know. I haven't taken the time to think about it, and I don't really want to. That's perfectly okay. The people that I know that have the strongest opinions are the ones that haven't really thought about it at all. So it's almost like they latch onto these ideas so hard because they know that it's bullshit. They know that they're phony. But, it's hard to face that, because if you don't have that, then what do you have, right? I mean, it's scary. It means you gotta face the fact that you don't know anything and that you have to figure it out on your own. That's a scary thing, figuring it out on your own. According to Jordan Peterson, that's when a person becomes an adult, is the moment they realize that their parents don't know what's best for them any better than they do. And so it's up to them to figure it out. And that's a scary proposition. That means you've got to face the darkness. You've got to you have to put your own effort and energy and time into shining light on that darkness and figure things out on your own. Oh man, you can see why I get so tired. My brain does this all day, every day. It's like non-stop. Gosh, it is so pretty. Look at this. There's people laughing in the park. It's wonderful. I haven't seen a single squirrel, which is weird because every time I bring my dog here, there's about 8 million squirrels and he goes bananas. Let's see, how do I get that thing there? There we go. So what else can we talk about today? I'm drawing a blank. Man, that's nice and refreshing. Whenever I draw a blank, it's like a moment of rest. Let's talk about capacity for a minute. Like your capacity for what you can do in a day. The reason I bring this up is because 54 days ago, I created this own challenge, this own structured challenge, kind of like a 30-day diet or some kind of exercise challenge, but this was a 100-day challenge, and the whole idea was finding my maximum capacity, meaning how much stuff can I fit in a day? How much can I do? How much can I produce? How full can I get my life before I'm just exhausted and can't add anything else in? And I'm on day 54, and I kind of forgot. I have a spreadsheet where I'll fill in maybe like 20 parameters every day. I'll grade myself on certain things like my effort level in the morning, afternoon, and evening, my discipline level, meaning am I doing the things I'm supposed to be doing, or am I avoiding the things I'm supposed to be avoiding? I'm not always doing that. I'm pretty undisciplined a lot of the times. But I just measure all that stuff. And just the act of measuring it makes me better because I'm aware of it. I'm aware that, oh man, my effort level, how hard I'm trying on things has been pretty low for the last 2 days. Like, why is that? Is it my diet? Because I measure my diet. I score my diet. Is it how much water I drink? Is it how much sleep I get? Because I track all of these things. But my goal when I set out on this 100-day challenge wasn't just to track everything. That's the practical part. The point was to try to find my capacity, to see how much I could do in a day. And like I said, I kind of forgot about that goal, but my subconscious didn't forget. I've just been adding and adding and adding stuff, I wake up at about 5 in the morning, sometimes 6, and I look at the news, I look at the stock market, I get ready for trading because I've been trying my hat at trading stocks and whatnot. And so the stock market opens at 6:30 and it closes at 1. So between 6:30 and 1, I'm looking at that. I run multiple businesses, 2 businesses. And I've started doing this vlog like a week ago. So that's a good, I don't know, 20 minutes. Unless it's like yesterday and I forget to record the audio part. Hopefully I'm not doing that now. What else am I doing? I'm in a mastermind group, so we meet once every 2 weeks. It's about a 2-hour call. And I just joined a second one that's going to have meetings every Sunday morning. And what else am I doing? Oh, I got a gym membership, so I've been going to the gym probably about 5 days a week. There's just a whole mess of stuff. Like, I'm doing all these things that I wasn't doing a couple months ago. And like, when I compare a day in the life of Chuck today compared to like 5 years ago, I wasn't doing shit 5 years ago. I would literally have days where I didn't do a goddamn thing. Like, not one productive thing was done by me. And there were probably even weeks, maybe a whole month, where I didn't do anything productive. I probably went to work, but there were some months where I didn't work. I just didn't do a whole lot. And things were kind of, just felt a little meaningless. Flash forward to today, and I'm doing a lot of things. I can't say I'm doing as much as I can, because I think I could do more. But I'm definitely approaching that point where I'm going to be doing too much. And I'm going to have to look at all the things I'm doing and decide which ones I want to keep and which ones have to go. And I'm going to have to sacrifice some of them, because, that's just the way it is. I've only got 24 hours in a day. 8 hours of that goes to sleep. A couple hours of that goes to dumb stuff like eating and showering and driving to work and just doing, the boring stuff you have to do. So, I'm about a little over halfway through this challenge, and I think I'm doing a pretty damn good job at finding my capacity. I think by the end of this 100 days, I'm going to have plenty of stuff to keep and plenty of stuff to cut. But overall, my level of performance and efficiency will be 2 or 3 times what it was when I started. And I can't recommend things like this enough to anybody watching this. It's important to do this kind of stuff in your own life. Like, just test the waters, try things, see what it's like to live in a completely different way than you're used to. Try something uncomfortable. See how quickly it becomes comfortable. It's what makes life rich. It's what makes things exciting. Like, I can't imagine going back to like old habits of playing video games for 10 hours a day, or just having an entry-level job, a dead-end job that wasn't really exciting. And I just can't imagine going back to a life where I do less stuff. I'm having so much fun. I have so much to be grateful for, and it's all because I just decided to make that happen. So yeah, that's what's going through my head at the moment. I can't believe how beautiful it is out here today. You can even hear the birds chirping. It's like almost the middle of December. We got birds chirping all over the place. No snow anywhere. Is this what global warming is like? Normally there'd be snow on the ground, it'd be cold, there'd be ice out there on the water. But there isn't any, and I don't mind it. So I think that's enough rambling for today. It's Sunday. I hope you're resting. I hope you're having a great day. I hope you're enjoying it with somebody special. I hope that you can find at least one thing to be grateful for. And if you can't, just ask yourself, if you could just find one thing, what would it be? And if you can't find anything, then definitely go do something nice for somebody, because the freedom and the capability of doing something nice for somebody is in of itself something to be grateful for. All right. I will see you on the next one.